Yeah, I smelled it on you. What are you doing on this side of town?
Well, damn, you acting like you know already. What's wrong with you?
Nothing at all. Just here visiting Benny.
Oh, Benny stays on this side of town? Where does he live? Not in these buildings.
Yes, in these buildings. Who do you know that lives over here, Lisa?
You sure are asking a lot of questions.
Not really.
What is going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Wesley from A Connection TV here on YouTube, the one place on the World Wide Web where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And welcome to my channel. If this is your first time seeing me, definitely follow me on all my social medias, Twitter and Instagram at A Connection TV. And welcome. This is going to be a very interesting video. Leave all your comments below. Hopefully majority of your comments are positive, right? And hopefully you can adopt similar connections despite our differences, right? I'm gonna try to do that myself in this video. Like this video, leave a comment on this video, and subscribe because it's all free to do. Josh Brolin, James Gunn, Ezra Miller, David CHOE, and Jonathan Majors. What is the difference between all of these men? Okay? Some were charged and convicted. Some were accused of multiple things. Some got in bar fights. Some admitted to some very not so nice actions. And out of all 5 of these men, one was most recently accused of putting his hands on someone. It's very interesting when you think about the dynamics of the world, right? And how individuals are treated and how individuals are looked at by the public eye. Oftentimes, we hear of these crazy scenarios and these stories, and as a regular person, I usually wave it off. I never really care. I'm not as invested in a lot of these stories, right? People are human. Things happen in the world, and no matter what, we have to move on. At least that's how I carry myself. So I don't really get wrapped up in the inner personal dealings of someone and what they got going on in their world, because I have my own crap to worry about, right? But when we get to a point of seeing how certain individuals are able to get away with personal dealings in their life and their career continues to thrive, and people forget what they did or how things went back in the day. People like myself start to look at certain scenarios and wonder why certain individuals are being chastised or let go from their management team, or are in question if their career is going to continue, where you have convicted people that have beaten their wife and people that have said horrible things on Twitter now running DC studios and playing Thanos for years on end. So it's like now I'm wondering, do I continue to support a franchise that, or companies that don't care what these stars and or actors do, right? Because we're all human, we make mistakes. I've made mistakes in my life. Or do I just say, F it, I don't care, and I'm just gonna thrive and live in what these franchises deliver me, because I don't care about these people and how they treat their people, and if they make a decision to let this one go versus making another decision to not let this one go. But there's a difference in how I end up to the left side or the right side, right? Because I live in the United States of America and I'm a black man, and I don't know what privilege is. I have never been in a space and will never be in a space in my lifetime of knowing what privilege is. Ever. I can think of so many years I've been on this. I've been on this there for a long time. And I've never walked in a place feeling like I can have my neck up, my chin up, because I have privilege. Every time I get stopped by the cops, I'm in fear of my life. Every time I walk in a restaurant that's fine dining, I'm looked at with a weird eye on whether or not I can even afford the place that, you know, I just walked into, which is why I have this ring on my finger. I bought this ring when I was 17 turning 18, and I bought it to symbolize my independence. At the time, it was expensive. I think it was like over $600 or something like that. Right. This is old. It's old. It's a white gold, rose gold ring with diamonds in it, and it was really, really cheap. But at that time, back in, don't worry about all that. I went into K Jewelers, and it was an all-white staff. Baby, I'm black. I'm blacker than black, okay? Back then, I was a little dark. I was a little darker, baby, and I didn't have the body I got now. I was a little skinny thing with big old lips and big ears, and I was just I was sashaying in her. Because I had just got acclimated and comfortable in my skin with being gay and black and living on my own, and bitch, I got money and I'm about to buy this ring. And so I walked in there like looking around, and you know when you're black and you look around at stuff and you got a white clerk and they're like, he just window shopping, he ain't gonna buy nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's all that. I can't remember the broad's name, but it was some stuck-up chick, and she was very like, you know what I'm saying? And I said, I want that. Maybe I looked at the price tag, I didn't care. I knew I had it in the bank. Maybe I was about to get that ring and I got the ring or whatever. So it's like, you know, I look at Jonathan Majors and I'm like, oh my God, I was just singing his praises. You know, just singing his praises. King, phenomenal job. Creed, he is the only reason why I went to see Creed 3. I never saw Creed 1. I never saw Creed 2. I love Michael B. Jordan, but I didn't really care for Rocky. I didn't really care for, I don't like sports, boxing. Sylvester Stallone is trash in my mind. Like, he's not nice. And I don't like how he's, based on what I've seen in the media, I don't like how he's treated Michael B. Jordan in the kind of relationship that they've had, right? From what I've gathered. So I'm just not, I'm like, Creed, what? I don't care. But then Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan and no Sylvester Stallone in 3, I'm like, okay. Yeah, okay. And I watched the movie, I was like, I mean, it's boxing, I don't really care about it. I mean, you know, whatever. Michael B. Jordan, and they did the thing, you know. Black men in the forefront, I'm here for it. Did their thing. You know, and I just love Jonathan Majors. After Lovecraft Country, it is what it is. He's, you know, he's king to me. He's God to me. He's, in terms of like creatively, I'm not speaking in the literal sense, right? For the slow people in the back. He's very talented, and I want him to be successful. And now, you know, back-to-back movies, back-to-back number ones, and now, you know, he's king, and let's go. Of course not. Of course we can't let this happen. This black man cannot be successful any longer. Enough is enough. We have to get him. So, you know, in my opinion, I think somebody was paid, to be honest. It is what it is. How do you go from elevated plateau to the depths of the underworld like that? I just don't see it. Not unless it was planned. Someone's out to get him. That's just how I feel about it. Someone's out to get him. Or maybe he is the black version of an Ezra Miller. Who knows? But nothing has been like proven. And in this moment where you would think but where you would think the potential for someone to spiral and just more and more stories would like come out from the woodworks, we'd hear something by now. This happened March 25th. Here we are, January, February, March, April, about to be May, right? And so nothing else has come out. No one, you know what happened to Bill Cosby, baby? There was like 78 people coming out. Oh, I was a victim. I was a victim. I was a victim. I was a victim. He did something to me when I was 2. You know what I'm saying? Nothing like that is happening with Jonathan Majors. So I'm like, what's going on? But you know, we get this moment of silence, and then out of nowhere, headlines. He's dropped by his management. He can't go to the Met Gala. Oh, okay. Well, clearly they've taken time to like figure out if he's able to get away from these allegations. Oh, maybe he can't get away from them. And maybe we should distance ourselves from him right now before we're associated with this Black Ezra Miller. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? But it's very telling that his management team just out of nowhere decided to drop him. Everyone's wondering what's going to happen with Marvel. Marvel has Loki season 2 coming out, and apparently y'all love Loki. I hated it. It was trash. Comedy and superheroes just don't mix for me, well, at all. They're just not for me, not my thing. But is Loki going to be re-recorded because we don't want to associate ourselves with Jonathan Majors? Is Jonathan Majors going to be recast? I mean, we saw 1,000 Kangs at the end of Quantum Mania. You mean tell me they're all going to change now? All these Kangs had specific roles in Marvel Universe. The 3 main head honchos to be exact. So now all of a sudden their faces changed. Like, I feel bad for Marvel, but it's like, why don't you vet y'all people, these major companies, why don't y'all vet these people? What's the difference between these men? The color of their skin. Josh Brolin was convicted, charged and convicted. So he gets to play Thanos for 1,000 years and nothing comes of it. He's no longer with his wife. Yeah, that particular incident happened 2004. Times are different, Wes. Okay. But if everybody is so emotionally attuned to dealing with people in their personal lives, because we have an opinion and we care, and put them to the cross, and we're pulling up people's tweets from 2002, why aren't we concerned about Josh Brolin beating up his wife? Why aren't we concerned about that? Why aren't we concerned about that? Why aren't we concerned about James Gunn being fired by Disney and then rehired by Disney, only to leave Disney to be hired at a very prominent role at DC Studios as the head or co-head, whatever kind of title that is. And it's like you could see that James Gunn has a particular personality trait. Because to be at this prestigious level of running DC Studios, he's still dumbing himself down and putting himself out in the Twitter world to combat Twitter people. He's a fan of Twitter. He got in trouble on Twitter, and he's going to continue his feuds and defending himself on Twitter. Nothing's changed. But he's still rich and still working. Ezra Miller. Is he going to be in another film? Who knows? Flash and all that was filmed while he was going through all this. Is he going to continue work? I don't know. But we're saying mental health. The man got a whole slew of charges and allegations and all that stuff against him. A whole slew. And then there's David CHOE. Said some, like, I don't even know. Like, in my mind, like, if that story was not true, who would say that? I don't know. Like, I've told false stories before. But I've never told a false story of me, like, doing that to someone. What? I mean, you know, there are some things that happen during massages. But I mean, it's consensual. It's not like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta go read what he said. I'm not about to do that on YouTube. YouTube is very, very funny. YouTube is very, very funny. But, you know, a nice massage is a nice massage. And then there's the standard, typical massage. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. But if that story was not true, why say it? And why? And if that story was real, why say it? Like, who talks like that? David CHOE and a group of his people that thought that, you know, that kind of humor was humorous. What? Disturbing. It's really disturbing. Like, I I would not joke about that. And then if someone didn't want to do that and stated that they didn't want to do that, why are you still doing that? I don't understand that. And then why joke about that? That makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. But nothing's been confirmed. Has the Rose woman come out and say, you know, I'm the woman he was talking about? I haven't heard anything yet. That's just a crazy sense of humor, I guess. I don't know. And then there's Jonathan Majors. Like, did his management company drop him because he cussed them the hell out? Maybe that's why they dropped him. Maybe they dropped him because he cussed his lawyer out or something. Like, in my mind, if something that isn't true or whatever comes out about me and it has the potential to ruin my entire life career-wise, I'm not gonna be nice to people. I'm not gonna be cool and copacetic to people. I'm just not. I'm gonna be irate and I'm gonna be upset because now my life is in jeopardy. So maybe that could be the reason why he was dropped. I don't know. Or maybe he is the Black Ezra Miller. If he is, that's horrible. Like, that's horrible. But his court date is in May and nothing's been decided. Why is he still even going to, like, what? How does it, like, if the chick is like, I'm good, allegedly, I'm good, I ain't got no problems, like Josh Brolin's wife did. Josh Brolin's wife was said, I'm good, I ain't got no problems. I mean, the cops still had to arrest him because that's what they do if there's visible signs of a, you know, on a woman, whatever. I can't say certain things because YouTube. He still got arrested or whatever. I mean, but what is the court for? I'm so confused. I'm like, what's happening here? This makes no sense. But I'm really making this video to really like ask y'all, like, what's good? Like, what's the major difference with all of these men? Josh Brolin still working, ain't got no issues. James Gunn is the head of DC. Ezra Miller is pleading mental health. I mean, he has like a slew of allegations and accusations toward him. So, I mean, if he ever works again, I don't know. David CHOE was really, really dumb, like James Gunn, said very insensitive, derogatory things in a public setting. James Gunn was able to apologize and move on and make more money. If Rose doesn't come forward, can David CHOE continue? I mean, I still need to finish watching Beef. I haven't finished watching it yet. And then you have Jonathan Majors, who up until this point has never had anything come out in the Hollywood light. Like, no one in Hollywood knows about this man. He's been working film after film after film after film. If he's been working film after film after film after film consecutively and really has a problem with people on set, do y'all think he would have made it to Marvel? Like, in my mind, what? He's that horrible to be with. He beats up people. He's making it to Marvel. I don't understand how that works. This happened in college. In college, he was like horrible. Where are these college people that feel that he's horrible? Hollywood is small as crap. Small as, you mean to tell me no one in Hollywood was like, oh my God, I had a bad experience with this man on Lovecraft Country. He was horrible. Even though Lovecraft Country was really, really black, it was some white folk in there. It was white money tied up all up in there. So you mean to tell me nobody heard nothing? I don't know. That's crazy that out of the blue, this happens. And now 2 people on Twitter say, oh yeah, I used to work with Jonathan Majors. He was really irate back then. And oh, he's quick to hit you. Like, what? I don't know. It's just crazy to me. And, you know, I put up these 5 images, and as a black man, what I see is a black man being accused of something, nothing being proven yet. And like his world is like ending. And this could be premature. Maybe in May, he's found innocent in the courts or whatever, and maybe he's able to bounce back. But like, where does Marvel go from this? Somebody's getting fired at Marvel. Like, who casted this man and who didn't vet him? In my mind, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, Jonathan Majors is over here. I want him to be successful, but as a studio head, who casted this man and why didn't we know any of this? You know how much money is invested into this man? This man is supposed to be in the Marvel Universe for the next 10 years. Damn near 6 to 10 years. And now all that's over because of this chick? What? I don't know. It's too much investment. It's just too much investment. It's just way too much investment. And Marvel's being quiet. You know why Marvel's being quiet? Because they got Guardians of the Galaxy coming out. They have Loki season 2 coming out, which Jonathan Majors is a part of. Jonathan Majors is supposed to be the big Thanos. Hey, they're in good company. I mean, if Jonathan did it, Jonathan Majors, Josh Brolin, in good company. What are we talking about here? Thanos was able to play, Josh Brolin was able to play Thanos for 10-something years. Let Jonathan Major continue, because ain't nothing been proven. That woman it was proven on that woman, his wife, and he was still able to get work. This little woman said this text and was like, I wasn't supposed to grab your phone. I shouldn't have grabbed your phone. I told them not to arrest you. I didn't want them to arrest you. Why he being dry? Why he can't go to the Met Gala? You know how many, you know how many villains is dressing up as demons and going to the Met Gala? And Jonathan Majors can't be amongst the crowd. What are we talking about here? Jonathan Majors can't go to the Met Gala, but you sitting next to bloodsuckers and I was about to say something. Anyways, y'all leave y'all comments below. See, this is why I'm not gonna be on reality TV, because I talk too much. And you know, one of my problems is being me. I've been open since 2005 here on YouTube, and I just had somebody tell me that I never mind, that's my business. But I tried the reality circuit stuff, and I'm too out there for them. And so it is what it is. Anyways, leave your comments below. I didn't want this to be a long video, and hopefully it's not a long video. Hopefully you watched the whole thing. But I'll end it by saying this. Every particular person on my thumbnail has done something different than the other, but the similarities are there. And the point of this video is clear. For the people in the back, if y'all don't get it, cool. For the people up front, leave y'all comments below. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Do y'all feel that Marvel should let Jonathan Majors go? Or do you think like Josh Brolin, who was in Marvel, who's still getting work, who did get charged for beating on his wife? You know, do you think Jonathan Majors should be forgiven like Josh Brolin was? Anyway, leave your comments below. Love y'all. Deuces.